And yeah, you would think that this city is built for a lot of people, but where are all of them? Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. A video I've been wanting to make for a long time, but never really saw why. I never really found the right moment to do it. Now I think there is a good moment because I have heard, I don't know if it's true, that North Korea wants to open itself up again to well-paying Western tourists and offer the same type of tourism they did before the COVID-19 pandemic, because since then North Korea has been closed to tourists. One can go to North Korea, or used to be able to go flying in from Beijing, or I believe also taking an overnight train. There's one specific airline and I guess one specific train company, and once you're in Pyongyang, the capital, you don't have access to Western media or any internet even, and you're constantly in as part of these like guided tours that are supposedly showing you only the really nice parts and facades of Pyongyang and social life. So no wonder that there is no Google Street View. If I pull the little Pac-Man in here, there's no street other than this strange little bit here. But that's a bit something, I'm not even too sure what it is, because it seems we cannot go there. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. But there are kind of some photospheres, and I think they would be nice to explore. So let's just go through them and see what we find. Let's start all the way over here. Famous square. This reminds me that, once, even as a tourist and as part of these tourist groups, if you take pictures, you have to take pictures always with the full photo of the North Korean leaders, and if there's a statue, it has to be the whole statue. You cannot just cut the head off on your pictures. And we see majestic architecture. I mean, majestic. It is quite nice. Very, 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 very big scale. I mean, just look at this. It's just massive. It's a lot like, I suppose, Beijing, maybe. Just absolutely massive. Maybe Seoul is the same. I would imagine North and South Korea, were just once. But every time I've been in Seoul on Google Maps, it was a different scale. Pretty cool. So this was this. What's next? Top of a pier, I guess. Looks very abandoned. The river doesn't have much water in it either. Foggy. It is July, it's summer. It does get very hot and very cold here in Pyongyang, I can tell you that much. You get loads of 30 degrees in summer and loads of minus 10, minus 20 in winter. Yeah, reminds me very much, of course, of the Soviet Union. Everyone is smiling, everyone is super happy, everything is super clean, everything is very ordered. A few years ago, I remember there was a big headline that Berlin, the city of Berlin, has sold their metro wagons to Pyongyang. It might be those. I remember similar ones from Berlin. Obviously, they have been repainted, but it might be those. Yeah, okay, there's another fellow tourist. Yeah, it looks very nice. I wonder now, of course, does every metro station look that nice? Because, think about Moscow, for example. They all look very nice. I mean, I guess most of them. But is it the same in Pyongyang? Public infrastructure, well kept. Let's just go through some of these here. So this is this famous, infamous, very strange looking and very high, I believe it's over 300 meters high, and never fully finished hotel that is called RY something. And we are on a boat here. USS Pueblo. USS Pueblo. But this is not an American machine gun here, American boat. What's on my head? This looks like... Well, I mean, what's on my... Well, it's not on my... What's on the head of the person that took the picture? It does look like the tip of a microphone. But okay. What kind of hole is this? All these bullet holes? Oh, you know what? This is like some kind of... Maybe... I'm not too sure. Former American military vessel. And these are holes of bullets that have been marked so that people would see them. Interesting. I didn't know they had such a thing there. Alright, here we have some people that are dressed quite festive, quite smart casual. A little bit, as if no surprise, a little bit old school, if anything. I mean, this is 2019. I don't see anyone with a phone in their hand. But I suppose people do have them. I mean, maybe this person has a camera. You know, if this was in Europe, people would be having their phones everywhere. These are some kids drawing something. And what is this? These are some... are we in the zoo by any chance? But if we are in the zoo, why are these kids sitting on the other side? And why are there animals running around here? And if I am Petter Jørgensen, where are my fellow trip takers? He must have left the group shortly, but I guess the group is not far. Maybe here they are. And what? I mean, this is like some, not a moose, but like some deer or something, huh? These kids are sitting there. It's a strange picture. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Look at the size of this square. I thought that's where we were earlier, but it wasn't. There's obviously some sort of governmental Kim Il-sung Square. Yeah. It's just massive. Oh my god, you know. And it also, like, if you look at these pictures, they look very empty. There's almost no cars. You know, obviously such a Mercedes here is some kind of governmental car. There's no cars, there's no bikes, there's no scooters, there's no rental bike or scooter system, there's no kiosks, there's hardly any sign, there's no advertising. So this is how a city would look like, stripped of everything. I mean, for architectural photographers, this is very, very impressive in a way, you know? Very impressive. Some tourist buses. I guess they would drive you to a spot and then would let you roam around a little bit. The biggest North Korean flag we'll probably ever see. This is not where Kim Jong-un lives. He does live outside of the city. Here we have been already. I should have done this more structured. He does live outside of the city with some other rich North Koreans. Most of them, of course, part of the government or his family or his cousins or, you know, like. But there are some rich neighborhoods. Obviously, we can't explore them so nicely. 2014. This is so very old. Wilfred Waters. This is just all so massive, you know. I guess the massiveness of the city and the buildings is kind of to symbolize the strengths of the workers, you know. We can build this. We can build big, wonderful, socialist, clean, straight, decent cities, you know. I mean, for anyone that likes Central European old towns, this is hard to take, but for me, I find it quite almost like from a computer game, you know, especially since there's absolutely nobody about. So we are driven around with these Mercedes. Is it a Mercedes? Maybe. There are some more tourist buses. Some very high TV tower that I can't recall. And some more Soviet looking stuff. And some nondescript buildings. This is much more interesting than I thought, you know. I thought we would just see sort of like very blurry, stupid pictures. But this is all quite nice. Oh my god. It's kind of a strange mix of like Soviet brutalism kind of stuff and some, yeah, I don't know how to say it, Korean, Chinese, Asian style roofs that are curved up a little bit on the edge. Massive river. Your obligatory bike delivery guy delivering, I don't know, some grain or some potatoes to someone. And yeah, you would think that this city is built for a lot of people, but where are all of them? I suppose working. I don't think they have necessarily a 40-hour work week. Perhaps more than that. But I don't know, I mean, I've heard people say that people in North Korea are quite friendly. Well, why wouldn't they be? But it's just so hard to tell when you're just kind of on these scripted tours. Like, you just don't know what is a facade and presented to you and what is the real thing, you know? What do we have here? Okay. Then the one next to it appears to be inside a stadium. But they look like tourists. I mean, he doesn't look Korean. And we're watching a football match. I've heard the story that the North Korean national team was playing against the Brazilian national team, but the Brazilian national team just sent not their most famous players, maybe some youth players, I don't even know anymore. And you know, they were celebrating the Brazilian national team like they're the biggest heroes, whereas in the West no one knew who they are. Yeah, talking about football, this stadium here, I mean, I don't know if it's really this one, but I think it is the biggest stadium in the world. Used to be in any case, but I guess it still is for 150,000, 200,000 people. I mean, obviously it doesn't look so big, but let's just measure it. 325 meters from the edge of the roof. How big is your stadium? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I would have liked to see the outskirts or where people live. That is, I think, something we will not, some lobby, we will not be able to see necessarily. Metro station, we have been here. What else do we have? I would like to know what an apartment costs here, you know? I mean, just out of curiosity, I really, of course, wouldn't necessarily move there. Why would I? Yeah, we have seen all of them. Let's zoom a little bit further out. Maybe there's just one other one. No, there isn't. But there is more in North Korea. Here, for example. There happens to... Here's also something. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like a seaside village. Because when you do take these trips, you are also taken to... yeah, some beaches and some, I don't know, national parks or whatever. You know, you're not just staying in the city. You are allowed to leave it a little bit. But yeah, this is almost it. Here we have something very high up. There's the bus that brought us. Well, there's no photos here without a bus. Yeah, I mean, no doubt it's nice, you know. It's really a land unknown to me. Well, is this in North Korea? No, it's not. Yeah, I guess I leave it there. I think we had some impressions from Pyongyang. Obviously, there's more. I will link you a video in the description that shows someone cycling through Pyongyang, which I found much more representative. And it looks like taken from 50, 60, 70 years ago. But it isn't, you know. But it isn't. Very, very fascinating stuff. Thanks very much for watching. And bye-bye.